Welcome back everybody to the channel. Dave Warren here from the GTR Heritage Centre. This week, as I promised a few weeks ago, we're going to introduce a pretty rare car for you to have a look at. We're going to be talking about the 1986 Nissan Skyline R31 GTS-R. So the R version, that symbol has been with the Skyline brand since the 1960s, and it's their racing division. In the early 70s, as a lot of people know, the Skyline GTR existed, and then come 1974 with the oil crisis, it just got wiped off the map completely and just vanished off the radar. Moving forward, getting into the early 80s, Nissan had some money behind them, so they started refunding some of the projects, and they developed a car which started to sport the R badge again. This is what we're going to talk about today, and this is actually what I've got here. So this is a 1986 Nissan Skyline R31 GTS-R version. The R version was the race model. For the people that were into the Cosworths and the Evos of the day, you know, the manufacturers, if they wanted to compete in Group A, they had to produce 500 units. Nissan produced 828 of these cars. It was Nissan Europe, not Nissan Japan. They produced 828, 3 of those were pre-production cars. This was the first Skyline to sport the straight 6-cylinder RB engine, otherwise known as the race-bred engine, and to add a turbo onto it. From the factory, 230 brake, Group A models heading towards 500 brake horsepower. Some of the famous ones that were out there were the Reebok race car. For the people that like to use Google, just Google Reebok Skyline and it'll bring up some fabulous images and pictures, and there's some great videos online as well of these cars being sported around the world. Went around Europe, went around Australia, came to the UK, and everything which stood in front of it at the time just got flattened. This car's come to us for a restoration off a good customer of ours. He follows us on YouTube, social media. The reason why he wanted the car to come to us, quite flattering really. He kind of feels the passion that we've got in the eye for detail. So I'm going to walk you around the car and I'm going to show you what we do when we're assessing a car for restoration, so we can get a kind of an idea as to what the cost is. First thing is, just want to show you how original the car is, including the nice patina dirt where it's been in storage for many years to go with it. Goes into the body shop department where one of the body inspectors will actually go around and highlight all of the visible faults and sometimes not so visible faults on the body. This gives us a really good idea of what the metal structure is like, whether there's any hidden accident damage, perhaps any filler, because you do get a lot of cars coming across from the 80s with a lot of hidden body filler from crash damage. So we've done a full appraisal on this one. We've been all the way around the body. You can see where we've highlighted micro blistering on the paint. We've looked at rust running along the roof. We've seen where the paint's been drying off. And what we do see is a lot of cars that have been through ownership in Japan naturally come across with paint jobs. And some of these people and owners actually paint their own cars in the back garden underneath a tent. This one kind of looks like that, and I can imagine at some stage it's been painted by somebody that's fairly amateur, and then over the years you see the paint starting to flake, the rust starting to come through, and you end up with a car like this. What we've got here is those very famous twin rear lights that symbolise the Nissan Skyline, so they've reintroduced those with these plastic covers over it. And then here's the famous R badge that we're talking around, and as I said, manufactured by Nissan Motorsports International. So this was by Nissan Europe, not Nissan Japan, who actually designed, engineered and built this vehicle. So again, back to the heart of the car. Here we have the famous now 6-cylinder RB engine. You can tell it's an RB engine. It goes straight to the front, right across the cam cover there. RB twin cam, 6-cylinder, 24-valve engine. This one here is the R engine, so it runs a larger turbo, a larger intercooler, and a more refined ECU. Instantly recognisable by this very little simple badge on the top, which says RB20 DET-R. in standard form from the factory. As I mentioned before, 230 brake, easily tunable with a bigger intercooler. We can tune this, probably get up to 450, 500 brake horsepower out of it. Very easy, very reliable, very robust engine. And this is kind of what makes this car what it is, very desirable. So, what's it worth? What's the price? $1 million question. We estimate the body work on this one to be probably around 20,000. That's not including if it needed any steel structural repair work. Fortunately, the body's tatty, but it's very intact. There's not a lot of corrosion on it for us to tackle. So by the time we get stuck into the corrosion that we've looked at, taken that out of the car, sorted the body work out, resorted the arches, give it a really good quality paint job with our partners PPG. We would estimate the repair on this to be about 20,000. The value of the car, well, you've got to ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a real GTS-R on the street? It's probably the only one that I know of in the UK and Europe. Based on the scarcity of them, globally there's probably less than 100 left on the road. So I would estimate the value of this car to be around £80,000. Great car, great, can't wait to get it finished. When we've got it finished, we'll do another little catch-up video so you can see the finished article. So, as ever, I just want to sign out now and say thank you very much. Hit the buttons, hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a share, give us a mention. Please, once again, thank you very much for tuning in and follow us. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.